It doesn't really matter. But anyways, are you watching chapel? Oh, okay. Are you going to be in chapel for? Okay, but you're. Your live stream, what time is it? Okay. No, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm in chapel. Yeah. The live stream is all set, but I just don't know what's going on. You look so cute. And I put this on just because, like, I knew I was about to sweat. Then threw this on. I'm going to the FAC after. This live stream is going on. That's just the yeah. So what are they saying? Problems here? It's definitely in the FAC. It's not here. I mean, it's working like in commons right now. They go in there and just I know. This is like the one thing I do feel like
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Lumina. Please take a moment to settle in and sit quietly. Please close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Place your hands in your lap, palms down. Breathe out and blow away anything that is preventing you from being present in this moment. Leave that all behind. Now, flip your hands over in your lap and place the palms up. We now welcome the essence of today's Lumina. How lucky I am to have something that makes good say goodbye so hard, making good pool. You may now open your eyes if you have chosen to close them.
Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination. Calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. I would now like to introduce our Lumina speaker for today, Westover's digital storyteller and dorm faculty, Lindsay Osborne.
That grad glow. I wish you all could see yourself through my eyes right now, even just for a mere second. This class has meant the world to me, truly. Like the idea of not sharing each day and night on corridor with you next year breaks my heart, and Libby's too. But with that being said, I'm honored beyond words to speak to you today, and I will try my very best to do so without sobbing. So about 5 years ago, when I started coaching swim at Westover, I remember pulling into Westover Way in complete awe. This place felt like a big yellow hug. That's what I called it. The way I felt when I walked through Quad and was embraced by this massive yellow building on all sides. There was just something about it. It felt like porch tea. Comforting, familiar, and grounding, but with a real view. I was hooked after that year. A few years later, I transitioned into the communications office, Westover's hype woman. And from there, I got to see beyond that big yellow hug. I saw what truly holds this school together. And it wasn't just the building or the traditions, it was you. It was all of you. Working behind the camera lens gave me access to countless moments. Some so pure, and others filled with exaggerated eye rolls for very staged photos. But no matter what, it was real, and it was yours, and it affected me in the warmest way. And as I began to know the individuals in those frames, not just the smiles or poses, but the stories of you all, you completely floored me. Learning of backgrounds, experiences, adventures, and interests, even new phrases and lingo, I was locked in. I became and remain in complete admiration of you all. The schedules you keep, the clubs you lead, the art you create, the conversations you steer, you have given me everyday inspiration. Hope for the future, because of the way you lead, not just with action, but with intention. You are all the most beautiful hearts my soul has encountered. You are approachable, radiant, and so damn real. I am endlessly grateful for the empathy and vulnerability you have shared, The impact you've had on me has truly changed my life. And the impact that you've made on us here. Your mentors, your teachers, your coaches, it has given us all something rare, something beautiful, purpose, meaning, a daily sense of fulfillment. And with that wordy intro, brings me to my Lumina talk today. Impact, your impact. You did it. And as you prepare to take your next steps beyond this big yellow hug, I want to reflect on the impact you've made on this campus, in these classrooms, in studios and fields, in the dorms, and the hearts who walk beside you today. The class of 2025 is truly the most thoughtful, compassionate, and unforgettable class I've ever had the joy of knowing. The way you care for one another with such tenderness, loyalty, and grace is nothing short of extraordinary. You've created a circle. Yeah, you know Westover loves circles, but you've created a circle of kindness, strength, and love that stretches far beyond your class and into the very roots of the Westover community. You lead with charisma, heavy on the riz. Joy, authenticity, and making everything you do feel vibrant, welcoming, and full of heart. The incredible vulnerability you have shared, the empathy you have shown, the laughter, the tears, the very magic of your presence, it all matters more than your own. We've witnessed your growth, and you've witnessed it in each other, not just in academics, but in courage, voice, and presence. I mean, honestly, look at your hub pictures. You've learned to advocate for yourselves and for others still trying, to speak when it mattered most, but to listen when it mattered even more. You've held space for joy, traditions, for grief, for truth, and for transformation. That kind of leadership, that kind of impact, it isn't always loud, but it's deeply felt. We've seen your work in the classroom with a mic, an instrument, a paintbrush, a camera, the stage, on the court or fields, in the labs, your writing, the clubs, and in the quiet, unseen moments that have truly shaped this community. You've reminded us that excellence comes in many forms, and that authenticity is one of the most powerful kinds of impact. And because of your authenticity, these bonds you have formed with one another are honest. They have provided you with opportunities of shared growth. And because of these shared experiences, just excelling boarding school life, honestly, just excelling high school in general during a pandemic. Memorizing Canterbury Tales, class trips, close and overseas, shout out Puerto Rico. Frugal, endless stickers, and the breath you can finally exhale when APs are done. Regina's brownies. Reach signings and outs. Oh yeah, y'all don't forget to sign out Reach. Make Catherine happy. She loves them. There are plenty more. Throughout, you have impacted one another, whether in conversation, notes, an embrace, a snap streak, or even just a quiet presence, essentially by being authentically you, together. Because of the light you bring to each space, Westover shines a little brighter. And this class did that. This class did that. You may not know it now, but your impact literally has the means of changing someone's whole day, let alone their mindset. Trust me, I've seen it, I've felt it. That is the positive influence you have. Those big, small moments where you were there for one another. That impact is permanent. You didn't just pour into your cup, you poured into those next to you. And I know with certainty that that impact will continue throughout your following chapters. Through your time here, you've made this school more than just a place. You've made it feel like a community. You gave meaning to our routines and depth to our days. The adults here don't just teach or mentor. We are wholeheartedly here because of you. And it's your energy, your spirit, your willingness to grow that have given our work its truest sense of purpose. Thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourselves, for each other, and for Westover. The mark you are leaving is everlasting. I promise you that. And while we will miss you deeply, we are so proud to send you forward, ready to bring that same light and that same impact to the world. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Robert Price. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked out, one as far as I could do, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy, and wanted wear. Though as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Thank close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Here are some affirmations that you may choose to repeat silently to yourself now and throughout our graduation ceremony. I am grateful for the experiences that have shaped me into the person I am now. I am proud of how far I've come. I look forward to the journey ahead. I welcome change.
Miss the echo of their voices. We want to hear them till the very end. You may now all head over to the Fuller Athletic Center and we'll get started with graduation around 11 a.m.